Thank you so much for coming today. And I really want to give a big special thank you to everybody who is joining us virtually. So we can't see them right now, but remember, everyone's going to be able to see you. So don't do anything crazy, okay? We appreciate the enthusiasm and the cooperation that everybody is showing us in celebrating this incredible milestone, keeping everybody together, while remaining comfortable and safe at home for those that are watching us virtually. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time since we've all been in person together, and this is going to be a fantastic day. We'll keep it short, we'll keep it brief, but this is really a monumental day here. Okay, I'm Andrew Cavalluzzi, partner and co-founder of Hudson Valley Property Group. Thrilled to host this brief program. We're here to recognize the collaboration of some amazing partners, some amazing individuals who all came together and allowed us to overcome many different obstacles, very difficult obstacles that have come our way, ultimately persevering, enabling this incredible project to come to life, the rebirth of Pilgrim Baptist Village. There's a quote that I say probably far too often. Not many people quote Mike Tyson in a positive way, but I do. And Mike Tyson has always said, everybody has a game plan, until you get punched in the face. And the idea and that theme is something that, I think that we felt, throughout. And it was something that, because of this team, we were able to overcome. And so I'll give just a couple examples. Just really before closing, and even before we even owned this property. Remember, there was a day we got a phone call and understood that we had some structural issues with some of the walkways outside of the homes for some of our residents. Made a couple phone calls. There was nothing else that I heard from anybody who I called. Nobody said, well, can't really do that. No, I can't get out there that day. Well, it's going to cost a lot of money. Not my responsibility. None of that. There was none of that. The only thing that came back to me was, we'll be there tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to take care of this. So Delsano, thank you for that one. I appreciate that. Okay. Going forward, that same approach of a team that we're here to make a difference, that we're here to make a change, that carried through. And that carried through all the way, through the height of the pandemic. There was a time when I say we, the collective we, got pallets of toilet paper. We're able to bring pallets of toilet paper to bring them to the property, toiletries, food, things that you just assume are part of the everyday life, easy to obtain, easy to get. All of a sudden they weren't. So what we did is we made sure we brought in pallets, that way we were able to provide for people that were unable to obtain those things that we think are, we take for granted sometimes. Okay, there are many more examples of that. The team that we have, again, there's so many times they just do things, it's unrecognized. So I want to make sure, quickly go through and say thank yous to many different groups and individuals that we have that have really allowed this process and this project to come to life. Okay, first will be the agency partners. Without the agency partners, none of this would have been possible. Okay, and so with that, we have the U.S. Housing and Urban Development. Dean Santa is unfortunately unable to be with us today. I believe, unfortunately, it's a tooth issue he has to do, so he's not having as much fun as we are right now. And I'm sweating a little bit, but it's nothing like having to get dental work. Okay. NJHMFA and the Director John Murray. John Murray is here. Fannie Mae and the City of Newark. And the City of Newark, Councilwoman McIver, her team and the Central Ward, thank you. The Newark Police Department, we've got a couple different representatives, I believe, that may be here. Newark Building Department for sure. And the Economic Housing and Development, Allison Ladd. Allison is in attendance today. And there are partners on the project side that were involved in the finance and the construction, and just in the operations. We'll say thank you to Berman and Dichter, Nixon Peabody, MSB, the Metro Company, and Sue Portney. I believe Stu is here today. Key Bank, who provided the financing, and PNC, who provided the tax credits. Costas is out there somewhere. Kramer Marks. So Kramer Marks, our architect. Erica Shar and Melissa Smithers are out there. Melissa and Erica have been, tremendous in working with us in many projects, and of course during this one have had to, deal with some hurdles that are unlike any others. But to help us get through this project, thank you. We look at Delsano. I mentioned their name earlier, and I believe we have Ed in attendance today. We also have Italo and maybe Will, and we also have Angelo. Angelo is the owner of Del Sano. You guys were incredible, being able to work with us and pivot during some of these very difficult times and getting this job done. If it wasn't for you, I don't know if we'd all be here today in the same cheery mood, so thank you. On the Hudson Valley side, I do want to say a couple thank yous. I think there were some individuals here that I want to make sure I'm calling out. Doesn't mean I'm leaving out anybody when you watch me later on the web, but just as a few I do want to call out. Anna, being able to work on this project and tirelessly working through different obstacles that would come up, situations, finding out that maybe some lettering that had gone on a wall, which maybe no one else would notice, you did or saw, and we're like, what in the world is happening? And being able to make those changes on the fly. Chris and Alex, and I think I saw Chris Schilling walk in, and Alex being able to bring this project to a closing, getting us to the point of getting the project then to the ability to make these beautiful renovations, $22 million plus in renovations, of being able to do that and bring that here. Thank you very much for working through that endlessly and tirelessly to get that done. Okay, and then Veronica and Shannon, neither one of you are here today, but without them, well, some people wouldn't be getting paid for the job, and some people wouldn't get it, so that the job probably wouldn't have been able to happen. So we thank you both as well, and especially Shannon. I do want to say, her home has become a new FedEx office during this time, as she collects all the envelopes and is able to get different mailings out to people. Other groups that were here: Mid-Atlantic Engineering, REPSG. Thank you very much. Community Realty Management, Sam and Wayne, you guys are fantastic. Part of what I was talking about with the pallets and being able to toilet paper, without them, that probably wouldn't have happened as well. Okay, we don't have anyone here from SAB. SAB was the relocation coordinator, but they were the ones who would help make sure residents knew everything that was going on, make sure they were comfortable. Anything needed to be attended to, we could. So thank you, SAB. I want to say thank you to Reliant Safe and also to Prime Security. So I believe we have Neil in attendance, and Neil, appreciate the help in going through and helping work through the security plan. We did that together with Detective Smitty and came up with a plan we thought was going to transform the property, allow some of these upgrades, the physical upgrades, to then last and make sure the operational upgrades and safety upgrades are also happening. So we appreciate that. And Elroy, thank you very much. Last but not least, because without them, none of this happens, it's the residents. The residents who were able to allow all this to come, to hear us talk about the project from the very first time, meeting in a very small community room when there was no lighting on the site, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and talking and letting them hear what was going on. And they'd been living in conditions that weren't ideal. And to hear from some people they've never met and to hear some grandiose plans, I don't know how I would have reacted to that or what I would have thought, but they worked with us, they believed in us, and so I'm really happy to be here for them in delivering that product. And again, it's during the pandemic for the residents again to work with us to allow us to continue on with the project with the overall goal of making this project what it is today. So after we go through with the speaking portion of today's show, we will do some tours. So we'll ask you then to step aside and join us, and we'll take you through some LED tours to show you all the different in person, some of the changes that have made. We also have photos and pictures behind me that you could see. But first, I'd like to introduce the next speaker, a valued partner to Hudson Valley in this and many other projects that we have in the city of Newark. So Director and Deputy Mayor Allison Ladd.
Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's really fantastic to be with all of you today. I'm really honored to be with Hudson Valley Property. Andy, Jason, Alex, I know I just met you a couple years ago when I came here to the city of Newark to work for Mayor Baraka, and it's just been an absolute pleasure as we work through affordable housing preservation projects, not just this one, but across the city, including parts of our North Ward. So really great to be here with you. And Councilmember McIver, I don't even know if I have the words, but you're my council member, and also an incredible advocate for community engagement, affordable housing, and for ensuring that everything we do in this city is done equitably for our residents, especially those in the Central Ward. And John Murray from New Jersey HMFA, we're always glad when the state is in our city, so come back as often as you'd like, because we need your resources. We need your resources to make things like today happen, and we really value the partnership and the ability for us to work with you and alongside of you during this time. So I am honored to be here with you on behalf of Mayor Rajay Baraka. Unfortunately, the mayor's schedule did not allow him to join you today. But he did want me to send his greetings and congratulations on this glorious day. And yes, I'm Allison Ladd, and I serve as the Deputy Mayor for Economic and Housing Development here in the city. So here in the great city of Newark, we know that preserving affordable housing and housing that's affordable for our residents is a key component of Mayor Baraka's Newark Forward vision for equitable development. And it's also a key element of the Mayor's Equitable Growth Commission, who's really been working for the last 2 years to drive policies, initiatives, and really the efforts behind what we do here in the city in an equitable way, whether it's affordable housing, residential development, and even other economic development throughout the city. So I'm excited to be here with you because today also signals this renovation completion of the work here at Pilgrim Baptist Village. And we know that the families here, that this is affordable for you. And that is a key component of what we want to do across the city. Many of you know I spent my career in Washington, D.C. as an affordable housing finance and real estate development arm of the city. And so much of what we talked about in D.C., it's really exciting for us to be doing that here in Newark. And again, it takes all of you to make this happen. So in closing, I just wanted to say that today also supports Mayor Baraka's equitable recovery plan that he announced last Thursday. We know that COVID-19, the pandemic, has hit our city harder than other parts of the country, and it's up to us to find solutions and to work harder. He says to work smarter, not harder, as we're working through solutions for our residents, small businesses, and everyone who wants to live, work, and play here in the city. So excited to be here, and I would be remiss if I don't close out and say thank you to a key member of my team, Karina Pereira. Karina is a special project manager in the director's office. She also leads tax abatements for me, and without her, today doesn't happen either. So just really glad to be here. Thank you, congratulations, and look forward to seeing the new unit. So take care.
Thank you so much, Allison. I appreciate those words, and thank you for being here. I couldn't agree more with you with the idea of working together, working as a team. You know, and with that, the next person I want to be able to introduce is someone who has been a huge proponent of this project from day one. Someone who ensures that her ward, her city, takes a back seat to no one. With that, Councilman McIver.
Thanks, Andy. So I'm just gonna say the obvious. It's hot today. But it's a pleasure for me to be here. I truly, it seems like it was yesterday when we were like on the side of like a little community room with like hundreds of residents who were literally cursing us out about a lot at the time, and definitely we can appreciate those curse outs because we were able to, I always say I love getting told off because you gain a lot of information, you're able to take notes and then you're able to do better, right? And so that was the purpose of us having the meeting to get us to this point. As the deputy mayor said, this is one of many projects that we have happening here in the city of Newark to make sure that not only do we have affordable housing, but we have quality affordable housing. Affordable housing that is high standard, because no matter how much rent you pay, how little, how much, how large, you deserve to have quality living. Your living should be up to par, and you should not be living below the standards. And this is one of many projects that we've been going around the city, making sure that we upgrade. This site, along with Pilgrim 2, has been around for years of me being a little child running through the city of Newark. And you just see these townhouses and people like, I'm from Pilgrim 1, 2. and you've seen it for many years. And so to have this type of, I want to say TLC and revitalization of this site, it's definitely something that's dear to me, and it's something that I'm going to keep pushing to make sure we have happen, along with my deputy mayor and our wonderful mayor, to make sure that we keep doing and we keep pushing. And so I'm really grateful for the residents here. I really, really am. They have, some of them have literally, Andy and his team knows, they've been here for 20 plus years, some of them living here. And so to have some of these upgrades happening, I mean, they were grateful. It was very difficult to be doing it while they're living in the apartment, and so we had to manage through all of that, but we got it done. And we're here today, and so I'm so grateful that we're able to do this, that we're at the completion. I'm not going to steal Suleiman's thunder, but I'm happy about the mural outside. It's part of something that we've been encouraging all over the city underneath the leadership of our mayor, to bring art into the community. We know that art equals love for us, and love is art, and so we need a lot of that all through our city. And so I'm happy to see that that's, the finishing touches. I was sneak peeking about the mural because I live right around the corner. I was just driving by, seeing every day the improvement, but I'm really excited about that too. But I just want to thank Hudson Valley. I want to thank the managing partners. Andy, I definitely want to thank you. I mean, we literally will text Andy, we will call, tenant in 6A, what's going on? And I know he's like, I don't even know who's in 6A, but he is so responsive. The group is so responsive, and I was telling our deputy mayor, it's the one thing that, you can appreciate about ownership, right? There's a lot of, let that pass. All right, that's our finest. It's something you can appreciate about having responsive ownership, right? They're collaborative, they're responsible, and I mean, to be able to pick up the phone and call Andy or call any of the managers at the site and get an answer, or just, get some information so that we're able to direct residents. I mean, it is breathtaking and refreshing for me, because there are so many people missing. I mean, I got the Central Ward. It's a big ward with a lot of buildings, a lot of complexes, and so to have this partnership, I'm just excited about it. I'm grateful for it, and definitely looking forward to us pushing forward as we move on to the next project, right? To make it happen. So I just want to thank everybody who made it possible. To the folks who are here from the state, thank you. We need more of everything you gave today, plus more. So please take the call in for that. To the entire team, thank you so much for everything. So congratulations.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I appreciate those words, and it is something that we, as a company, as a firm, we believe in the idea of us being here. It's a privilege. The residents that live in our properties, they're putting their trust, their faith in us. So it's a privilege for what we do, and we as a firm, we feel very good about it, very strong about what we are able to deliver and the promise that we're able to deliver upon. So, Councilwoman, I do thank you. And the Councilwoman herself, she's mentioned that I take phone calls. I have reached out to her office, and I'm like, we have lights that are out. They're out on the side of the road literally within 3 hours. They're coming, and she has PSC&G out here. There was an issue that we had at one time with drainage. Literally within 2 hours, they're out here cleaning those. So it's reciprocal. It's the whole idea of working together. And so we certainly feel that in the city of Newark. So thank you very much. And so with Newark, too, we have Uncle Willie's, and their truck is out there, and so we're all going to be able to sample some of their food, which we've all heard is fantastic. Hopefully some of you had it in the past. Uncle Willie's did some incredible things during the pandemic, and did with their meal delivery and being able to donate and hand out food. And actually, Audible had donated a truck to Uncle Willie's during the pandemic, to help with their deliveries that were going on. So afterwards, we'll be able to experience that. But next, I am proud to introduce John Murray, Director of Multifamily Lending and JHMFA.
Good morning. I think I was the Director of Multifamily Lending when I started with this project. I'm now the CFO, but on behalf of our Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver and our Executive Director Melanie Walter, I'm very pleased to be here. Evidently, the agency actually took over the management of this property in 2005, literally to keep the heat on. in 2017, I became the president of the nonprofit that ran the property. I didn't know that I was elected to be the president till they brought me some documents to sign. One of the first things I did was come out to the property and do a pretty comprehensive review of what's going on here at the property, and was convinced I've got to sell this property. I've got to sell this property tomorrow. Someone needs to get in here and upgrade this property and give the tenants what they deserve. Us being government, it took me about a year to be able to do that. We had several proposals. We chose the Hudson Valley proposal for a number of reasons. One, their experience and our experience with them as partners. It's not just a lender-borrower relationship. We were partners, and we were very determined to see the upgrades go into this property. Their proposal was the most comprehensive rehab scope of any of the proposals we had. It was pretty much a pretty simple decision to bring them in, and the results are obvious. So we're very, very pleased. Just so you know, we have a preservation program that doesn't cost $1 of taxpayer money. We utilized it here, we've utilized it all over the state. We knew we had the package, we just needed the partner. So we're very proud of what went on here, and we hope that we see more properties, none that we own, get rehabbed and brought up to speed. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Yes, the project did take some time, but I'm sure that was my mistake on the title, so I apologize.
It took a long time, yeah.
So in addition to transforming housing, we wanted to do something more here. We wanted to do something that was about the community. And then when I say the community of Pilgrim Baptist, but the community of Newark, right, in the city, and being able to do something that was special that everybody could see, that would hopefully bring something to their day that maybe that wouldn't otherwise have. The first phone call that was made, and I remember this very clearly, to a gentleman named Suleiman, and I had to go through and see how. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't say his name incorrectly. And I'm calling him on the phone, and I'm like, Suleiman, this is Andy Cavalluzzi. I got your name and your number from the councilwoman, and I have an idea. And I'm talking to him. He didn't hang up the phone, thankfully. He had no idea who I was. He probably was like, who is this crazy dude calling me? This is a crank call. I don't know what this is. But, we ended up talking. We went through, and there was a vision. And, after an hour, well, maybe an hour and 6 minutes on the phone, it was something where there was an idea, and it was born. And so with that, I would really like to welcome Suleiman Anquay and Malcolm Rowling, if you'd like to join as well. Thank you.
Oh man, just want to take a second just to breathe it all in, because this was something that we talked about. And me being a Newark artist, born here, raised here for about 95% of my life, and doing murals throughout the city of Newark, and having a family of artists through the Art Way, which is my mother, my brother, and myself, is monumental to have this here. I mean, I used to work at a location the block down the street. So a lot of community here knows me. So for them to see what I'm doing here is monumental. It's legacy building. Legacy building. We wanted to create something that the community can be proud of. Images that they can see and feel as they're a part of that. That's very important. I want to first thank Monica, the guy before, reaching out to Andy Cavalluzzi and making this happen. That was very pivotal, and I appreciate you reaching out to an artist like me. Then we teamed up with the best production manager on the planet, Malcolm Rowling, from Yendo Production. And this is what happened. We created something that people can see and that be felt around the world. So it's just something like, I like to live in the moment. I wrote something, but I didn't go from that. For all those you, the children, the community, feel the spirit, hear me, feel what's around you. Be astounded by your greatness, because we are all royalty. your fate is to be higher than they think you are. Get to a higher level because you're a superstar. In this village, love our village, we love ourselves. We know our wealth. We know our worth. We know when we birth another child is a superstar that's going to take care of this place and take it far. Take it far. You know who you are. You are the future. You are great. You are important. Know that. So I just wanted to say again that I'm very extremely happy about this. This mural is for the community. Love thy village. It's just that. Love your village. Love your community. We have hope up there. We have community. We have family. We have pride. And we have love. Spread that love throughout the eternity and throughout the atmosphere because we need that. Thank you, Andy, for reaching out to me after you got that from Monica. Thank you, Malcolm, because without you, we worked on it like a team. I'm the lead artist on this, but it wasn't like that. Me and Malcolm worked as a team, a duo, and that's what you see here, a true collaboration of art greatness. And we're not done. We're not done. This is just the beginning. Thank you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you to my lovely wife, Karima. Thank you. Thank you to my children, my mother, Yvonne Aqua, all the family, community. Listen, she's here. She's representing for me. Without her, I truly can't do what I do. And I will let you know, I recently began to do art full time. And without my wife, I could not make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Suleiman. Thank you, Malcolm. I remember coming here, I guess now about 6 months ago, and walking into the studio, and I call it the studio. What it was it's a former storage unit. And that storage unit is where they started to create this mural which you'll see afterwards. And I think it was probably about 12 panels of art that had to come together. And going in there, and it was like just breathtaking. My jaw dropped, but you couldn't speak for a moment because you look around, all of a sudden you start to see this in the walls. They're covered in paint, which you might say in other places like, oh, that's just graffiti. No. So you walk in and you see this, and it's like it's magical what you see in the walls. It's so inspirational and it's amazing. I remember as soon as we walked out of there, I remember contacting the office, going, don't ever touch that room. Don't ever touch it. We can clean the floor, we can throw out any of the trash that might be there, but do not touch it. We're leaving it that way. And you can end up having some programs after there, and you can do things and having children come in, and be able to experience some types of art classes, but just anything. Because when you walk in, it's a different type of feeling. So thank you, Suleiman and Malcolm, for creating that, and that's fantastic. So one other person here that I want to be able to introduce, someone that I've known for 32 years, childhood friend of mine, someone that I'm very fortunate to call my business partner. It's like my brother. We've been in this for some time, and we're going to be in this for some more time. But this is fantastic. When you get here, when you get to this place, and you start to see the looks of the residents afterwards, after you have totally transitioned the place, and you know that you are impacting that generations of people in their family. You are impacting their kids. Their kids no longer have to live in a condition that they think is normal. Okay, and that's what we are here changing. But Jason, I'd like to call you up to the stage or podium.
Ooh, this has been a fantastic day. A little warm, but it's been great. So thank you again for everyone for coming out today and celebrating the completion of Pilgrim Baptist Village. And thank you to all of our speakers. Your participation today is reflective of the support you have provided at all the various stages of this project. Without your various contributions, this milestone would not have been possible. And thank you again for your continued involvement going forward. As many people know, Hudson Valley has done a significant amount of work in Newark. In fact, we have done more work in Newark than any other city. It's really a second home to us. In giving some numbers, we have worked on, to date, preserving more than 1,500 homes, affordable homes, in the city of Newark, and nearly $300 million of development costs and investment into this great city. With all the work we've done, I can say actually I've never been more proud than with this project. The scale of the transformation is truly incredible. This project is illustrative of our core mission of elevating the physical and financial vitality of affordable housing. We believe that if you could elevate the quality and the standard of affordable housing, you could have a huge impact on the lives, both in the short term and the long term, improving their standard of living. As we have discussed, we came across this project through an RFP, through NJHMFA, an opportunity to apply our skills and expertise to take a troubled property and to make it a better place. This is really the perfect example of what we do as a company, and we wanted the opportunity to show what we can do here. We're fortunate that John and his team selected us. We had the opportunity to move forward. We created a comprehensive scope of work, including extensively renovating the apartment units, adding and updating amenities, and revitalizing the grounds. As a result, residents enjoy renovated kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, laundry facilities, security features, boilers, and more, as well as a state-of-the-art energy management system that lowers emissions, the carbon footprint, and utility costs. We were able to do all of this while residents remained on site, which is especially critical during the challenging times of the last year and a half. And while we celebrate the completion of this big renovation project, today does not mark the end. In fact, it's really the beginning. We remain committed to the property, the residents, and the community to maintain the quality of affordability of the housing in the long term, and to provide residents with the services, the access, and the opportunities that will improve their quality of life. This has been a challenging past year and a half. If nothing else, there's a silver lining in this, in that we've realized really a deeper meaning of our work. Housing is not just about providing a place for someone to sleep. A home is where you raise your family. It's where you educate your kids. It can be where you work, you access services, you access opportunities that will improve your life. At Hudson Valley Property Group, we are blessed to be able to work on this mission as what we do, and we're proud of what we've been able to accomplish with the help of everyone here in this room and many who were not able to join as well. And I know Andy and everyone else here joins me in the last but most important thank you to our residents who are here with us virtually. Thank you for your cooperation, your patience, and enthusiasm in creating the best Pilgrim Baptist Village possible. We look forward to celebrating with the large resident community here later in the year once it's safe to do so. So thank you all. It's been a great day, and looking forward to the rest of the festivities.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you everyone for bearing with us. It actually is kind of cool right now under this great tent. So Brenda, good work and good idea with this tent. Appreciate that. So this part of the program is complete, the speaking portion. And so afterwards, if we could we'll join and we'll go do symbolic ribbon cutting. And then after the ribbon cutting, we'll have some guided tours. And so we'll invite whoever would like to attend and come with us to do so. But as Jason said, which is very true, this is a ribbon cutting. right? But this is not the finish line. You know, this is the start of the new Pilgrim Baptist Village. It's a marathon that we're on, and now it's up to us. We're starting from a great place, and now it's to continue on and continue being able to improve and continue being able to operate even better. So thank you everybody for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm leading.
Jason! Ms. McIver! Hey there! Anybody else who wants to be in the shot? This is an equal opportunity shot. If you want to be in. Jason, come on over. You have to move people over. You want to? Alex, definitely be in the shot. Do you want anyone else in the shot? Jason? Jason, do you want? I mean, Andy. You're both looking. What can I say? Who else do you want in the shot? Is there anyone else you want in the shot, Andy?
Yeah, where's Anna? Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Malcolm?
Lots of cuts.
Okay, I'm out of scissors.
Okay, we're good.
All right, Andy, you have
I think
scissors.
we have enough.
Okay. All right, I need somebody at that end to hold the ribbon.
Brenda.
All right.
Further out, please, Aaron. Way out. Get out of the shot. Okay. Bring it in. Now, everybody here, put the scissors on the ribbon. Do not cut. Just stand there with the scissors on the ribbon, and we're going to take a few photographs. Everybody, take your photographs.
Everyone look here. Let me see those bright smiles.
Look straight at the cameras.
Right here.
Smile.
Beautiful. 2 and 1 for good luck. All right. When you guys are ready.
Okay, no, wait a minute, hold on. All right, I'm going to count. I'm going to count again at 3 counts. When you cut, do not look down. When you cut,
Don't come on.
look at the camera, or I'm going to make you do it again. All right?
Yeah, everyone looks great. Okay.
1, 2, 3, cut. Woo!